Blog Talk Radio, the world's largest online radio network.
Hello, and welcome to the Soap Series. This is your host, Doug, with my co-host, Pam. Pam, are you there with me?
I'm here. How are you doing today, Doug?
I'm doing good. We have a wonderful show lined up tonight. We have the beautiful Hunter Tylo with us, who plays Taylor Forrester on The Bold and Beautiful. Welcome, Hunter.
Hello. How are you guys this evening?
We're doing great.
Doing just great.
And hello
How are
to
you?
everybody who's listening. Yes, I'm doing great. I'm having a great time in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, wow. What's going on over there?
A lot of hiking, biking, beautiful canyons and sunsets, just taking our 3-week hiatus that we're having for spring break out here, just a little time with my family, a little downtime.
Well, that is good.
And it's a good place to do it. It's one of the places I've wanted to visit for so long because it's so, so, so beautiful.
It's breathtaking. And, you know, there's so many maps and information type places where you can find out about the vortexes. That's a whole, you know, realm in itself, which that's a fascinating thing to research. You should check out about these vortexes, which there's only like maybe 20 or so in the whole world, and 7 of them are in Sedona. So a lot of people go there to get sort of spiritual type of, you know, healing or meditation and chilling out. But just the nature in itself is just amazing and beautiful.
Yeah, the coloring of, you know, the mountains and that, it's just, oh my gosh, stunning.
Yes, it doesn't.
And I know there's
real.
a lot of great spots.
Oh yeah, the formations are what are amazing, for sure.
Well, tonight we're going to do a little something different. Normally we do the first, half of the show with interview with Pam and I, but you have a lot of callers, so I'm going to see if I can be as fair as possible to try to do a format where we take a caller, then we talk to you, then take a caller, kind of go back and forth. So that way, people, we do have someone calling in from Australia, so I got to make sure we get her online.
All right.
She was calling all the way from Australia, so I'm gonna find out how her number pops up, being that it's an international number, and I'll get her on as soon as I can. But I'll just go ahead and take the first one. This is Matt. Matt, you're on the air with Hunter.
Hello, Matt.
Hi, Hunter.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Well, I just have a quick question for you. I've talked to you online and met you multiple times, but anyways, I'm a huge fan of Ridge and Taylor. I grew up watching, and I feel like they were the couple, but they kind of don't acknowledge it that much anymore. How do you feel about how they kind of, they go on about Ridge and Brooke being it all the time, but that isn't what I saw growing up. So, just curious as to how you feel about them not staying true to the history.
Well, I really do think that the fans remember and they love Ridge and Taylor together very much. There was a special chemistry there. It goes back 23 years ago. So I came on the show in late 1989, and the show started in 87. So there is a definitely long history there that the fans became emotionally attached to. And, of course, we have their children, Stephanie and Thomas. It just seems like right now the focus has been Ridge and Brooke, and that's kind of where it's stuck. I don't really know what the future plans may be, but I do know that I get a ton of mail, and there's as you know, the name that they affectionately give called Tridge. So,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge number of people who, talk to me all the time. Are they going to get back together? And the answer is I don't know. I mean, I suppose that is up to the writers down the road or whatever they choose to do. But in the meantime, I think Taylor can pretty much stand on her own whatever she's doing.
That is true.
This is true.
Thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, Matt. Well, Pam, you've got a lot of Twitter questions for her, so why don't you go ahead and bounce one to her?
I do have. I have one from Gemini Girl 011. Her name is Misha Mobley. How do you feel about the B&B kind of ignoring Tridge's love story in the recent years?
Didn't we just answer that?
Yeah, I know. Let me go to a next one. I just noticed that.
I want to acknowledge that. I kind of see where she's coming from. How do I feel about it? I feel that you can't ignore that is a part of the history of the show, and whether or not they want to go back there right now, I don't really. I don't think that it has been acknowledged any less. I think what fans are saying is that they would like to see it happen again, and that's completely up to the way that they choose to write the story. I do agree that fans miss it. I miss that as well, because I think it's part of what even gave Ridge and Brooke any kind of credence, because Taylor challenged it. People wouldn't feel so emotionally strong about Ridge and Brooke if Taylor had not been there to kind of be holding them back in the meantime. So, that's part of the dynamics of a good play or a good movie, any kind of script. You've got to have strong push-pull protagonist and your antagonist, creating that real emotional draw. So I do see what they're saying, though.
Yeah, well, I myself, since the Ridge and Taylor thing is not happening right now, and maybe somewhere along the road it will, but in the meantime, I would love to see you hooking up more with Windsor Harmon. I love the TNT.
Yes, I have always had a special kindred friendship with Windsor. We're both from Texas, so I think there's a lot to be explored there with... there's a rivalry that's gone on forever between Ridge and Thorne, and I'd like to see Taylor finally, give Thorne a little more support.
Yeah, I think they'd be good for each other, and you guys do have chemistry together.
I agree.
Yeah, we had Windsor on the show in March, and he was our first Bold and Beautiful cast member to join us, and he was so much fun. Great energy, great person to interview and to talk with. He made us feel so comfortable, like we were just part of the family.
Yep, that's
and very funny.
Very funny. Very. He's almost like a kid. I don't think he's ever going to grow up. and that's what's great about being around him. He's very childlike, and there's not a mean bone in the guy's body. Seriously.
Yeah, he seems very positive.
Yeah, we would like to see more of you and Taylor and Thorne on screen. The last that your character even mentioned him was when you brought the chocolate bar thing over, and he never even got to experience that because it was being dished up with Hope and Steffi.
Exactly.
That could have been really romantic for us to see you doing that with
right?
Yeah. I agree. Maybe we can revisit that somehow.
All right. We'll go ahead and take another call.
I have another question. Oh, you're going to take a call?
Ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, we have a lot of callers on hold. Go ahead.
Okay,
no
problem.
By the way, the Australian one is going to show up. She said she was calling now, and it says 61 is like the country code, and 07 is the area code. So see if you see her on there, please.
Let me look. Just a moment. Sammy, are you on the line?
At least it's morning.
Hello?
Hello, is this Sammy?
It is.
Okay, Sammy, you're calling from Australia. You're on with Hunter.
Hi, Hunter. How are you?
Hi, Sammy. How are you? I adore you. You are such a sweetheart. This gal here on the phone has made just beautiful handmade gifts for me, and she shares my love for reptiles, and she is always sending me photographs of her pets, and we share stories online. She's a great girl, great friend of Golden People.
I miss you so much, Hunter.
Oh, you're so adorable. We haven't seen each other since, let's see, last August?
Yeah, last August I met you.
So hopefully again very soon.
You know, when I met you in August, that was the most special time in my whole life.
Oh, that's so sweet. I adore the things you say online. You're just so supportive and always so sweet. And I know that you're friends with everyone on the show, and that you really, really support Bold and Beautiful, and that it's brought something special to your life. And that's really great for us to know that.
Thank you so much. Did you like your new collages I sent you?
Absolutely. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. She makes these amazing collages, guys, that they're all handmade, and she usually gets photographs, too, where she's found them of me in a magazine, and she'll place me among the reptiles.
Aww.
I hang them in my dressing room. They're awesome.
Oh, that's great. Is there anything else you wanted to say with Hunter on the phone?
I just want to tell Hunter, thank you so much for all your messages and all your comments, and thank you for everything you do for the fans. You spend so much time with them, and not many soap stars do that, so we really appreciate it. And I really love your official Facebook page, the Huntress page. My friend Adriana, she puts all the photos and things on there, and she does a really good job.
Yes, she does, yes. I have some really wonderful friends who, they do it as a labor of love. They put together my fan page on Facebook. I started out just with a regular Facebook like everyone, but there's like a 5,000 person limit. And so we started these adorable, wonderful people. Some I have not met in person, but we talk online. But they have done it as a labor of love, put together the fan page for me. It's called the Huntress Caught on Camera, right?
That's right.
Right.
So that's the one that I officially do go in, and I chat on that one too. So between my regular Facebook, where I can allow friends in as the openings come up, I go in there, but I also go on my main fan page because that's where a lot more people can come to visit.
Yeah.
And will you say hi to your daughter, Kat, for me?
Yes, I will. You are so sweet.
It's really nice meeting her. She's so cute. She's so sweet. And she looks just like you.
I will. She always looks for you on my Facebook, by the way. She goes, "Where's Sam? What's Sam doing?" So I will tell her that.
Thank you so much. And whenever the next B&B fan event's on, I'll be there, and I can't wait to see you again because I miss you so much.
Oh, I can't wait. We'll definitely we'll have another fun breakfast, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Sammy, for calling in.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you. You
Bye.
enjoy your day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Have a
Bye.
great one. All right, bye.
That's great. That's great to have
Such a sweet girl.
Yes.
Yes, it really, to me, that's the best part of what we do. It's like we don't really, doing what we do is on television, it's on tape, and here we are in 150 whatever countries, and we don't get the applause that most actors get on stage, but when you hear the just love and support in a person's voice like that, that makes it all, worth everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
never
have
got to
friends
go to
in Australia, too, that watch you and watch Bold and the Beautiful and absolutely love the show. They are so obsessed with it. And they're behind on the times of what we are here in America, but once in a while they'll ask me, what's coming up? I said, you just have to watch.
I know. I hate to spoil it, but sometimes they can see what's online on YouTube or whatever. And yeah, it's kind of. I don't like to spoil it for them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I had met last month when I was living in, currently I live in Indiana, but I was in Florida, and I was able to go to a fan event, and Sean Cannon was there, and he was talking about, and also Windsor was talking too on our blog talk here, about in Italy or across the seas where they dub your voices, and Windsor was talking about he met the person who dubbed his voice. Have you ever met the person who dubbed your voice?
Yes, I have. It's so great. They love doing it, and they understand the character as much as we do because they have to say the lines with the same sort of passion and inflection so it matches. And I guess they already understand the translation. So they're probably the closest people who can really understand what it feels like to be Taylor or Thorne or whoever. Mm-hmm. So they really are. They're very interesting people to meet.
Yeah. Do you have another question from Twitter, Pam?
I do. I actually have one from Facebook from Ginger Pettyford. Have you ever looked at a script that you've been given and said something like, for real, this is what I'm doing this week, this is where you're taking my character? I thought that was a cute one.
I think I said that when I saw that my character was going to mow down Thorne's wife on the PCH. I thought,
yeah.
Is she having a nightmare or what is going on here? I was so sad because I loved Shay Harrison that played Darla, and she was such a fixture as far as, you know, just a funny, you know, the dingy blonde, and everybody adored her. I was so upset that my character would have to do that, and, you know, you never know why. Obviously, each character has to have their own fabric and their own background, and at that time, Taylor kind of needed to not be so perfect and pristine. She needed to kind of be a little more humanized. And so, unfortunately, when she fell into her drinking addiction, she had that, you know, unfortunate incident happen where they were getting rid of a character, and it would be me that has to, you know, have her go out. And I guess, you know, I'm looking at it more from, I felt sad that an actor, a friend of mine, was losing their job. That was where I was coming from. I know the audience is coming from the fact that they miss a character. But it was so hard for me as a person to be aware that my character was causing another person to lose their job. So that was a little hard. You know, I didn't want that to happen, but I can't control how they write it. And some of their reasons are, you know, very, very many different reasons why a character may stay or go. So
right.
It's sad. That was hard.
Yeah. There's a moral to that story, too, for people out there not to drink and drive.
Well,
and that's what folks do a lot.
As long as it's not done gratuitously, I understand that there always has to be bad things happen so that we learn from it. That's what soaps should be about, so that issues are addressed, that there's awareness made about various things. I think our show's done a really great job of it. Now, there are some shows that capitalize more on mysteries or, you know, some kind of treasure hunt or whatever. But the one thing for sure about Bill Bell and the Bell family's TV shows is that they were specifically made to be about families and relationships.
And that they are.
So, yeah, and we all learn from that because everyday life is traumatic as it is.
Yeah, it is. That's why, like we were talking before the show, we leave our reality to go to your reality, you know, and we are there for either half hour, depends on what show you're watching, and it's just nice to escape our life and go enjoy the talent that is out there. And people complain about the writing of the shows of all the shows on all the channels, different times and throughout the history. But we have to remember the actors. Fans have to remember that the actors and actresses are given what they're given, and they do the best that they can with what they're giving. You know, it'd be nice if the actors could have total control of what happens to their character, because I know each of you would have different things going on with your character.
Right. But, you know, I then again, I don't know that I would want that job in a million years of trying to write day in, day out for a soap, because you have, first of all, the factors of, what's the guarantee, or how many days do you have to get in there for each person to fulfill their contracts or whatever the agreements are, and then try to make all of that work with what actors you have available. It's got to be very tricky. And then if something doesn't work out where an actor leaves, I mean, we lost Jack Wagner not long ago, and you kind of could feel the vacuum in the show.
Right.
And, I've thought about how in the world do they, change it if they already had an overall arc for 6 months or 8 months. I would not want to be in their shoes. I mean, because then all of a sudden they don't have a weekend, or they're up every night, all night, trying to figure this stuff out, how to reweave it and make it work, because it does have to be woven like a lattice work, literally, to make the story coherent. It's very tricky if one piece is missing. It can really take the wind out of a good story. So, yeah, I admire how hard the writers work, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well,
that's got to be one of the hardest parts of it. The hardest jobs is the writing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and to keep it going as long as the shows that have survived now have is a huge feat. I like what you guys are doing. We talked about that, too, before the show. Just reminding the audience to keep telling their network, they love these shows, that this is a dying art, and they're valuable. There's so many shows that are so full of hardcore reality, and, okay, maybe we enjoy kind of feeling what it feels like to be in the coroner's office, or, the cops on, a real authentic murder chase or hunt. But we also love the fantasy of soap operas, and to feel like we can get away from our everyday life that is, difficult at times. We need to have that escape.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead and take another caller. There's actually 2 area code 410s on the line, but I'm going to take the area code 410 that your number begins with 6. So I don't give away your full number and people prank you. So 410 area code, first number is 6. You're on the line with us. Area code 410, and your phone number begins 6. I hear you. Can you hear us? I hear their
Hello?
TV. Hello, yes, I'm talking to you.
Are you
Hello?
calling in to talk to Hunter?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, area code 410. I have you on the line.
Okay. I'm calling in to say hello to Hunter.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's so nice to talk with you.
I'm so glad you called in. Great.
I have a question. What will you be doing as a family this Easter Sunday?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, what will you be doing this Easter Sunday? How does the soap opera person celebrate Easter? Like the rest of us?
Yes. Well, I will get up and I will go to church, take my girls, and they'll, my grandfather was a Presbyterian preacher, so you can only imagine. I've got this hardcore drilled into my blood. I wear an Easter dress, okay, and sometimes wear a hat, the Easter hat, big deal. And we'll dress, and then we'll go to brunch, or I haven't decided. We'll either go to brunch or we'll make something at home. But it's traditionally ham, and we have, of course, our Easter eggs, and potato salad is a usual Southern favorite. And then my girls, I don't know, they're getting too old for it, but everybody likes to still do Easter egg hunts.
That's awesome. I also have another question. I love when they do the fashion shows, and the gowns are so beautiful. Now, are they unique to the Bold and Beautiful, or I never know much about where your dresses are, or if they can be purchased somewhere, or?
It's always, of course, it's different depending. We have a a fairly new wardrobe designer, and so her name is Danielle. I'm not sure where she's going to be, for the next fashion show. I know they've been experimenting with some new designers, and we just had some really lovely gowns when we did our cast photo a month ago. So, that's a great question. Maybe we should see if we can find a way to post what the gowns are, or you guys could, I think if you just write in and ask us, we can ask Danielle. That's a great question.
Oh, I've always loved the shows, and I just, I'm sitting here thinking, is that unique just to the Bold and Beautiful? Because they're so awesome, So, anyway, I won't take any more of your time, and I'd just like to wish you a happy Easter.
You too.
All right. Thank you so much, Hunter. Bye-bye.
Okay, you too.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye-bye. And we'll just go ahead and get the other 410 out of the way since we had a little
You know what?
confusion.
Before you do that, I'm sorry. I have somebody in the chat room, and the questions are scrolling by so fast that I want to try to get one in, if you don't mind. Michelle, who goes by Hotshot Diva 24 on Twitter, wants to know if you'll be going to Italy with the cast when they shoot there.
I don't know. Everything, this is how powerful the fans can be. I wasn't scheduled to be in next week, and then apparently there's been just a huge influx, and all of a sudden one of our gals from the office just sent me a message last night and said, by any chance, hopefully you haven't made plans, they want to write you in next week. So it changes you never know. It changes from day to day. And many times I don't even know my schedule until the Friday before the next week. So it's kind of like being a doctor on call in some ways.
Yeah.
But you never know. But I promise I will let everyone know.
Thank you.
No problem. That'd be great. We would love to see you on screen more. So I hope that's awesome to know that you'll be filming. So that makes us Taylor fans very happy. Area code 410, the other one. You're on the air with Hunter. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Debbie in Baltimore.
Hi.
Hi. I'm on Team Taylor 100% when it comes down to Team Taylor versus Brooke. And I just out of curiosity, how much fun is it for you to fight with her?
I'm so glad you're asking me that, because most of the time people want to look at it that there's just this real venom and whatnot. But it is no different than how a male and a female actor have to be able to have chemistry. You have to have a certain chemistry to be able to have these cat fights for this long. And, a lot of it is, we know where to draw the line, and we know how to gear ourselves up to make it work. And there's not, I can't think of too many other pairs of actresses who've been able to pull that off for that long. Besides, I believe Erica Kane and Brooke from All My Children,
right.
They had a long-time chemistry as well, and there really is an art to be able to pull it off, because you can never get too close to where that intensity ever becomes dull, because people can read if you're too close, or we have to keep our friendship very professional. That's the best way for me to describe it. I mean, as we do with each other anyway. But in order to make the chemistry of this work, you have to keep a certain, you have to preserve the relationship up to a point. So I have to commend Catherine that she's been a great rival for all these years. It's been 23 years when you think about. That's why the Brooke and Taylor fans get so intense.
We really, really enjoy it when you take her on, because you're taking her on for us. One of the things I guess I was curious about is would you like to see Taylor get completely out of the triangle and just find a new guy that isn't on the show right now, that has himself together and completely adores you and supports you and makes Ridge jealous as hell for a change, and that you could completely be over him, because I see your character as one of the strongest women on television in the soaps. You've got a professional job, you've got a great house, you've got great kids, you don't need Ridge Forrester anymore. I think that that's so done. And I understand it's the history, but it's been tried so much that now they're going to the next generation. And they're doing the whole triangle with the Hope, Liam, Steffi thing it's you guys in reverse. And I'm just really rooting for you to get a completely different guy, a professional, good-looking, hunky, money, the whole thing. You need to get past him.
I like the way you put it, because I think that's where a lot of women have gotten frustrated in the past when, they've had it happen to them, a guy that just continually tests their love and their trust, and they would like to be able to turn the tables on him for a change. I think a lot of women could vicariously live through Taylor in that kind of instance. And that is a very human thing to do, to always want what you can't have. So if it were to turn on Ridge, I think it would just be endearing in many ways. It would be something that people could really relate to.
It just seems like he's just completely moved on with Brooke, and he doesn't even give Taylor a second thought too much anymore. So I think really Taylor, she's got her shit together. She should just have something herself and be strong. I mean, you're just such a strong character. I hate when they make you wimp out and go back and back and back over and over and over again. It's just go to somebody else and make him jealous for a while.
Yeah, I think Taylor can stir up things in other ways that will still affect everybody. I think that she's got that the strength you're talking about, but she also has some vulnerabilities, and that there's a sensitivity in Taylor that I think that's an important element of a female soap character. She's got to be very, very strong and be able to stand her ground, and she's got to have a fiery temper, but she also has to have the vulnerability. And so I think Taylor's, there's a lot of places she could go. It's really going to depend on if they decide to pair her up with someone. She's with Thorne right now. I still think there are things to explore there. I would like to see Taylor be his hero, and then let her tell Ridge no if she needs to.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much for your call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you so much for calling and your support. Okay. If anybody's on hold, just let you know we have a lot of callers, so we're going to skip our interview part. I want to make sure the fans get a chance to talk. So we have a half hour left, and we're going to move on to area code 505. You're on the air with Hunter. Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Brian.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, Hunter. You remember me?
I do now. I recognize you. How are you doing?
Good. Well, as I believe in us being a couple.
Yes, indeed. Brian and I met. When was it? Was it back in was it before 2000?
2006.
It wasn't at the fan club event in 2006. And Brian came and we were at the Bold and Beautiful fan club event. And he asked me to be his girlfriend.
I bet you get
And, yes, we have been a couple ever since.
Well, that is great.
Congratulations.
That's great.
He's been sweet. He's adorable. He's always, he'll take my pictures, which I love those, Brian. Sometimes I use them as my icon on my Facebook, or when we used to have MySpace, kind of like passe now. But he decorates them, and he puts really cute phrases and hearts, and he's so sweet. That's another sweet dear friend who I've known for a while, like Sammy, and they just make beautiful art. labors of love to show me how much they appreciate Taylor and what I do to brighten their days, and it means a lot to me.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Brian.
Brian,
you're welcome.
To you.
You too. I love you.
I love you too. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. I'd like to slip another question in here from Twitter.
Fine. Okay. Go ahead.
I have from Lancy Passion. When is Taylor going to kick Liam's butt for what he did to Steffi?
I think Taylor knows Steffi's pretty smart, and she's only going to put up with so much herself.
She's definitely her mother's girl.
Yeah, I think Liam's going to realize he needs to make a decision here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're ready for it too as fans. Because we love. I know they're setting it up for the next generation, to bring in the younger crowd and stuff. But us people who've watched it since the beginning, or as long as possible, we miss the core characters as well. So, such as yourself, we want to see more of you on there. And but I understand that they have to do the younger generation, because when you guys started out, you guys were the younger generation, and now they're reaching out into to the new audiences out there to try to get more people in. But we support you 100%. So it's good, and I love Jackie that plays Steffi. She's beautiful, she's talented, and I'm glad. I mean, I don't know where she's at right now on the show, because she left to go to Aspen to do something. But I'm ready for her to come back and kind of kick some butt and get Liam back. I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's hard to find young actresses who already have their life together and are not still philandering around, and I don't mean philandering,
Yeah.
I mean where they're still learning to be responsible and whatnot, and she's really got her stuff together. She's very mature. She works very hard at creating her character, so she is very aware of keeping that feistiness alive in her character. It's so important, and you kind of have to fight against writing sometimes, because now the writers have to keep in mind that they're writing a passionate, romantic soap opera, so sometimes they tend to always keep the women very feminine and tearful and whatnot, so there's a challenge that the actresses have to keep our characters feisty. We have to make sure that we kind of keep that edge in there, or you're just going to be a weepy heroine. So we want to find ways to bring that to life, and I've really been impressed with Jackie at such a young age, how well she's defined her character already.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll go ahead and take another caller. Let's move to area code 619. 619, you're on the air with Hunter. Go ahead.
Hi, Hunter. This is Jay from San Diego.
Hello, Jay.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to the 25th anniversary of The Bold and Beautiful. I know you guys are having a function here in Los Angeles. And back in 1992 is when I met you the very first time. It's coming up on 20 years. And I gave you a drawing that I made of you on the couch. And you had this beautiful red dress on. It was a sleeveless dress. And we took a picture together, and you were just a sweetheart. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again 20 years later.
Yes, thank you. Definitely. I save all my art. I want you to know. I don't know if it's just, the fans of The Bold and Beautiful or my fans or what, but we have some amazing artists, and people have just given me the most beautiful artwork. I just can't even tell you. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes. People have drawn pictures of my children, my pets, a photograph maybe they saw of me, and then they take it and they'll make it watercolor. I'm just always so touched by just that, time and effort that you take, and I really do appreciate it.
Oh, you're most welcome, and I'll be sure and bring you a new one this summer when I see you in Los Angeles.
That sounds great.
Okay, I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to say hi, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And it's great hearing you on the radio. And hearing you interviewed. It's fantastic. I'm glad to get to talk to you again.
Okay, thank you. Listen, I'll throw it out there. I'm going to be at Sam's Town in Las Vegas on June 1st, this coming June 1st, speaking at a fundraiser for a teen pregnancy home called Living Grace Home. So maybe you come out there and be glad to, get a picture and hang out with you then.
Oh, absolutely. My friend lives in Las Vegas, so I will make the trip up then. That's excellent. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, check it out on my Facebook fan page, The Huntress Caught on Camera, or if you're on my friend list on just Hunter Tylo, or you can come into my website, huntertylo.ws, and you'll find more information how to get tickets and all that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Jay. Talk
Thanks
soon.
for calling, Jay.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
we have a website. We have a website for the soapseries.com, and on there we put links for all of our guests that have come on, and we'd love to put some of the links on for you of what you have upcoming for charity events or fans days or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get those to you.
Yeah, sounds
perfect.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to area code 775. 775, you are now on with Hunter. Go ahead.
Hello.
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 This is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
I really just called to say hello. I don't really have a question.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's very nice to hear your voice. I'm glad you called in.
I'm glad I called in, too.
Do you want to tell me what is your favorite storyline that Taylor has ever been involved in?
Well, I've always mostly been on Taylor's side when it came to, the triangle of Ridge and Brooke and Taylor.
Uh-huh.
So it's mostly been that storyline.
Okay. So anything to do with rivaling Brooke?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Well, Sarah, I saw that you pressed the button to talk, so that's why I brought you on. I'm sorry that happened. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
Oh, it's okay.
That's okay. Sarah's a huge soap fan as well of all the soaps, and she goes by Dreamer of Soaps on Twitter.
Okay. I will look for you.
She's a huge supporter.
It was nice talking to you, Sarah.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye, hon. It's funny that people. I mean, when I started the show, I had, like I told you before, I had no idea by reaching out to the cast members that I'd even, be able to do this. And luckily, we've become successful and we've done great, being that you're here. But being a fan of you as well, hosting a show like this is an honor because, I mean, I'm one of the soap fans out there that love you and support you and the shows that are, that we watch. So it's hard because a lot of people want to call so bad. And they get so nervous and they're so scared. And I always tell them they're just like us. They're just, you and I are just the same. We put our genes on the same way. And we're humans, so don't worry. They're going to be fine on the air. So we do get a couple people that just get kind of tongue-tied and scared. But it's an honor. And I tell people I'm the one that's nervous because we're the one that's hosting the show. We're the one talking and negotiating to get someone on the air. And some say yes, some say no, or So it's an honor to have you. So once again, before we continue, I just want to say thank you for being with us tonight. Do you have another? Do you have a Twitter question or a chat room question before we go on?
Yeah, sure, I do. Let's see. I have one from 2Mimi15 on Twitter. She says, what storyline would you like for your character? I would love to see you in any story. You shine through in everything you play.
I'm really, let's see, what would I like to see the most? Yeah, I know there's been a lot of interest, people wanting to know what happened with Taylor's brother. I think that could be something very interesting. And I do think there are some really interesting things that we can explore with Thorn as well. And I'd like to see Taylor get some healing for some of her past losses and her mistakes, and kind of work through those with Thorn and see where it goes from there. I think there's just so much that can be done just with those two things alone. I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah. I personally would like to see why this is two-part. I want to know why, and I would like to see the storyline where Taylor and Thorn were going to team up and take over Forrester, and that was dropped last fall. And I would like to know why that happened, if you know, or if you would like to see that be reemerged, because I would love to see Taylor in a strong hold over the Forresters, because they've, Ridge has, wiped her clean so many times. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think actually, if anybody has a reason to stand back up to the Forresters, it would be Taylor and Thorn.
Mm-hmm.
and poor Thomas, they're all in the basement. I feel like what you're saying, a lot of people can relate to, that maybe in their lives as well. They feel like they're oppressed at work. A lot of, they want to live vicariously through these characters and see them win. So I do agree. I think that's a story that could really get people going and just show these characters stand up for themselves, and not to be spiteful, but to say, no, wait a minute, no, enough of this. This is what we're going to do right now, and go and do their thing. Of course, not to harm the company, but to make it better. And then maybe everybody's kind of biting their tongue and going, oh, okay. So I think it could be a really great twist, kind of a paradigm shift for the audience. It could be done, where people can pull for them and root for the underdogs, as they say.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and bring on area code 626. You're on the air. Area code 626.
Hello, Hunter.
Hello.
Oh my God, you are awesome.
Thank you.
We love you on the show. It's not the same without you, because it seems like they cut back their screen time a lot, so a lot of people are disappointed. Yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot, and I want to say on Bradell's behalf, I don't believe he's doing anything, to deprive the audience or anything like that. I know the last 4 years I've gone through my own personal struggles, and he probably has been giving me a little breathing room. But we've been making it clear, and the fans have as well, that okay, enough time's gone by, and I think we're ready to see Taylor get back into some heavy emotional and very strong storyline, and I think people are telling him that, and I think he'll listen. You just have to let him know. So hopefully that's going to turn around.
Well, I need to say hi for Fiona Moss from London, England. She's a huge fan, and she named her daughters after you. She named them Taylor and Hunter, and she lives in London. So she can't be on, so I'm just going to throw this at you. This is what she wrote. She said, I'd like to ask Hunter how hard it's been for her to be as outspoken as she is and as honest as she is in a world of backstabbers and hypocrites. She's always admired you for your personality the most, and she thinks you're nothing but real.
Oh, that is so sweet. It's not always easy to be in the business I'm in, but I have to understand that it's a very glamorous business and everybody wants to be in it, and I've had to just learn how to survive and depend on, number one, my true provider is upstairs, so I can't worry about what's going on in the world or who is angry at me or whatever. I just rely on trust and not try to get my feelings hurt. And I know that's easier said than done, but that's the best advice I can give you.
Okay, well, we hope to see you on more. So
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, if there's anything that we can do as fans, is definitely Twitter. For example, last year Melody Thomas Scott was, not written in for about 6 months on Young and the Restless, and well, us fans did not stand by and just let that happen. We wanted her back on the air, and over a huge group of a lot of people mass tweeted the people that was involved in Facebook and mail, and we got her back. So I think soap fans are the most loyal fans of any genre industry out there, because you guys are the hardest working. You guys work 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. You guys tape for long hours per day, all week. I mean, overall. So us fans, if we want something done, we will do what we can on our part, and that's why Pam and I are doing what we do by showing. If somebody from the CBS or Sony gets wind of our show, never listens to one of our shows, and sees how much the passion is there from not only us hosts but the guest and the fans that call in. I mean, that's just our little niche that we're doing to try to make our voices known as we continue on with our journey to help save the soap genre.
That's great. Yeah, I think it's so important that the soaps are preserved. Like I said, it's a shame. It's a dying art form, but part of the reason is because they're very expensive to produce.
Yeah.
That's kind of the blessing of working for the Bell family, is that they're the ones producing it. It's not the network. The network, it's unfortunate ABC chose they didn't want to put the budget out anymore. And we talked about this too at the beginning, is that the first ones we saw truly affected were Procter & Gamble soap, because it wasn't worth it. They had originally made those shows to encase their advertisements, and there was a point where it just wasn't worth it anymore for the advertising dollar.
Yeah.
So, we're very lucky to still be around, and I think the shows that have survived and are still here, I think that we can support them and make them the best they can be, and keep them alive.
Sounds
Exactly.
good. That's what we're working on.
I have a question from the chat room as well, from Daniel Van Dam. He wants to know if you think that they killed off Phoebe too soon.
That kind of came out of left field. I didn't know that was going to happen. I loved that dynamic of the twins. But since she was a very successful Broadway singer and actress, and she was kind of at that place in her career where I think she wanted to go. So once again, that's one of those things where behind the scenes we don't always know what's going on, and what they're faced with contractually that the writers are having to deal with. That she was young and wanted to go to Broadway, and that's what she was doing the last time I heard. And she was very, very talented, a wonderful singer. So, sometimes we lose people for different reasons.
Right.
I was sad,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you really don't find a lot of twins on the soaps these days, so it was kind of refreshing to have that, but we do wish her the best.
Yes, absolutely. But I do like, insofar as, that's part of real life. That happens. And for Steffi to have lost her sibling, it really gives a lot of forgiveness to her character, because her character, not for wanting to bring my own personal baggage in, but my daughter in real life, I see how much anger is always going to be there for when you lose a sibling, and because when you're young, you can't rationalize your emotions. You can't put those.
Right.
You're too young. You're immature. You're not able to put your finger on it and fix it. You can't explain it. It's life. It's too difficult. So it is a really great character flaw, if you will, for Steffi, because she's had something happen that she will never get over, and on top of it was her twin. So to me, I kind of like that it's there, because it's good for Taylor too. It gives her her baggage, her emotional depth, and Taylor's had a lot of losses. I think a lot of audience members can relate to that, and they want to see how does she survive, how is she going to get past it. So yeah, we make it work. We just do the best we can, make it work.
Exactly. Okay. Well, it's about 5 till, so let's see if we can get another question in here before we tie up. Area code 646. You're on with Hunter. Go ahead.
Hey, Hunter.
Yes.
Hey, it's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
I first want to thank you for the iPad.
Yes, I have to fill everybody in real quick now. I did a contest. I did just on behalf of my website, a 25th anniversary of the Bold and Beautiful, a silver anniversary iPad giveaway where the fans had to come in and search like a treasure hunt through the website and find clues, and they had to find 25 clues and then give the answers. And some of these were really hard. They were from like the first episode or maybe the third episode forward. And Rachel Light is the only one that got every single one of them right. So she won the iPad.
Oh, wow.
Good for you.
That's great.
So we're in the process of getting it engraved. She gets to get a specialized inscription on it, and then we'll be sending that out. Congratulations again.
That's
Thank
awesome,
you.
Rachel.
That was so generous of you, Hunter, for real.
Oh, you've been you were very worthy of it. You've been a faithful fan. You've been a great supporter of the Bold and Beautiful for a long time. So, everybody deserved it who entered, but, you are definitely somebody who has been there and supported the show for a long time, so you deserve it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I do have a question. You kind of touched on back a little bit earlier, and I just wanted to bring that back up. I've noticed over the years, whenever new characters are brought on, like Grant Chambers and all these other characters that go on and they become more established, I've always noticed they've been introed through Taylor. Like somehow they knew Taylor in the past somehow, and then that's how they're introduced. But what I find funny is that Taylor's family members are never brought on. And I really wish, maybe Sharon could actually be alive, and they find that out, and that could be a new story for Taylor to go on by herself without Ridge for once. And, or maybe Zach could come back. Just more of Taylor's family, more of the Hamiltons.
Yeah, I've heard people say that as well, and, I've always said that there is a lot to be told about Taylor's family, because one of the things about Taylor, with her being a psychiatrist, obviously she got into that profession for a reason. We know that her father was a gambler, so there's got to be other issues that drove her to this place of wanting to figure out life and human behavior and why do people do these things and how can we make things better. And so I think there's still a lot to be explored about the brother, Zach. And, of course, it's funny because soap fans have even, more creativity than we do sometimes as actors looking at it, because they know that anything's possible on a soap. And so they go, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because Taylor was told her mother died when she was young doesn't mean that it did happen. Or, so it's like, that's true. Anything, I've seen stranger things. So you never know. I think those are all great ideas. Definitely send those to me, and I will pass those on.
Okay. I'm going to send you another one, but it has to be in private because I don't want to give it away.
Okay. All right.
And my only other comment would be, I hope Taylor could maybe somehow get Jack back, since she is the rightful mother.
Jack. The young Jack that we don't know where he went. I don't know. I think Taylor needs to find out why Brooke isn't taking care of him after she begged for him. It's kind of funny. That's one of those things that I wish we could have tied up before we lost Jack Wagner.
Now,
I would love to have Jack back,
is
too.
Jack the same as RJ? Because now I'm confused. I got lost there for a second.
Yeah, baby Jack is the child that got mixed up with Taylor's eggs in the Petri dish.
Yeah.
So
but I didn't know if she renamed him RJ, if that was the same baby or not. Because
no,
there's
that's
too many
different
babies. Okay, well, she's such a hoe. She slept with so many people, I can't keep track of them. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for the call, and thank you for tuning in, and also congratulations again on the iPad. That's awesome. I'm hosting the show from the iPad, so it's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel.
Great talking to you, Hunter.
Thank you. Now, I wanted to tell you, Hunter, that this is the first show we've ever done that we've had people from around the world in our chat room and calling in on the phone. Besides Australia, we also have, I'm not sure how to say her name, so I'm sorry if I say this wrong. Sigridur from Iceland wants to say hello, and we also have Mimi from Sweden.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
And then we have Solange from Rome, Italy.
Awesome. Okay.
Well, Taylor is made for you.
All hours of the night.
That's great. And if you're on, and listeners, if you are listening and you're on Twitter and you're not following her, you need to follow her at Taylor Made, the number 4, and the letter U. Taylor Made for you. So follow her. She's great. She interacts with all her fans. She's one of a million. Well, I understand you're at doing a family dinner cookout thingy right now, so we're going to let you go and let you get back to that. We want to thank you so much for taking the time out tonight to do this for the fans. There were more callers, but of course, we could talk to you all night long, and we don't want to take up your time. So we will have her back. We will have Hunter back later in the year after there's been some new story development, so we can talk about what's going on in Taylor's life at that time on the show.
Great.
So again, thank you so much, Hunter, for joining us tonight. Pam, do you have anything you want to add?
I just want to say thank you to all the fans for all of the love and the support and just kind words. And, you guys come to my defense when I get the Brookie attack. But, just so we all know that I'm doing my job when I get the passion of everybody involved, whether it's, hate or love or we wish Taylor would stop or whatever. I really do, appreciate everybody and their passion, and I can't tell you how much it means to me when you guys interact and come in and say hi and give me good support and just all that love. It means a lot.
Oh, well, we love you back.
I want to say thank you also for taking the time with us, and especially when you're at a family function. Also, please be sure to get us those links, and we'll put them on our website. You may want to take the website. You may want to take the website, thesoapseries.com, and give it to Sony. Let them listen. Let them know how much we love all of you and all the shows, and we still want them on air, and we'll do anything to keep them there.
That's great. Thank you for what you're doing. Thanks. That's great.
No
You're
problem.
welcome.
Well, we'll let you go. Go enjoy the rest of your family. Tell your family hello from all your fans, and we will talk on Twitter and Facebook, okay?
Okay, Doug and Pam, nice talking to you. Have a wonderful Easter weekend as well.
All right. Thanks so much.
God bless.
Good night.
Okay, God bless you. See you later. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was another outstanding interview with another guest, Hunter Tylo, who plays Taylor Forrester on Bold and Beautiful. What did you think, Pam?
Beautiful, beautiful lady. She really is. I mean, I'm so thrilled to speak with anybody that we get on here because they're so sweet, so nice to take the time out to spend with us and the fans, and it's so appreciated. There's just no words for it. I also want to say thank you to all the fans from around the world that have joined us tonight, and we're just thrilled to have you with us and be able to spend time with you and get to listen to Hunter.
Yes, and just a quick, make sure you check out our website at www.thesoapseries.com for more about our show. So with that, we will let you go, and we'll see you next week. We have Signe Coleman on Monday. Tuesday, we have Ashley Jones from Bold and the Beautiful, who plays Bridget. Wednesday, we have Tristan Rogers, who's reprising his role as Colin on Young and the Restless. And Thursday, we have Lauren Kozlow, who plays Kate on Days of Our Lives. So we have a full agenda next week. So for all that and more, check out thesoapseries.com. Follow us on Twitter at thesoapseries. And with that, good night.
Blog Talk Radio, where millions of hosts and listeners gather. Blog Talk Radio, the world's largest online radio network.
Hello, and welcome to the Soap Series. This is your host, Doug, with my co-host, Pam. Pam, are you there with me?
I'm here. How are you doing today, Doug?
I'm doing good. We have a wonderful show lined up tonight. We have the beautiful Hunter Tylo with us, who plays Taylor Forrester on The Bold and Beautiful. Welcome, Hunter.
Hello. How are you guys this evening?
We're doing great.
Doing just great.
And hello
How are
to
you?
everybody who's listening. Yes, I'm doing great. I'm having a great time in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, wow. What's going on over there?
A lot of hiking, biking, beautiful canyons and sunsets, just taking our 3-week hiatus that we're having for spring break out here, just a little time with my family, a little downtime.
Well, that is good.
And it's a good place to do it. It's one of the places I've wanted to visit for so long because it's so, so, so beautiful.
It's breathtaking. And, you know, there's so many maps and information type places where you can find out about the vortexes. That's a whole, you know, realm in itself, which that's a fascinating thing to research. You should check out about these vortexes, which there's only like maybe 20 or so in the whole world, and 7 of them are in Sedona. So a lot of people go there to get sort of spiritual type of, you know, healing or meditation and chilling out.
Gemini Girl 011, her name is Misha Mobley. How do you feel about the B&B kind of ignoring Tridge's love story in the recent years?
Didn't we just answer that?
Yeah, I know. Let me go to a next one. I just noticed that.
I want to acknowledge that. I kind of see where she's coming from. How do I feel about it? I feel that you can't ignore that is a part of the history of the show, and whether or not they want to go back there right now, I don't really. I don't think that it has been acknowledged any less. I think what fans are saying is that they would like to see it happen again. And, you know, that's completely up to the way that they choose to write the story. You know, I do agree that fans miss it, and I miss that as well, because I think it's part of what even gave Ridge and Brooke any kind of credence, because Taylor challenged it. You know, people wouldn't feel so emotionally strong about Ridge and Brooke if Taylor had not been there to kind of be holding them back in the meantime. So, you know, that's part of the dynamics of a good play or a good movie, any kind of script. You've got to have strong push-pull protagonist and your antagonist, creating that real emotional draw. So I do see what they're saying, though.
Yeah, well, I myself, since the Ridge and Taylor thing is not happening right now, and maybe somewhere along the road it will, but in the meantime, I would love to see you hooking up more with Windsor Harmon. I love the TNT.
Yes, I have always had a special kindred friendship with Windsor. We're both from Texas, so I think there's a lot to be explored there with, there's a rivalry that's gone on forever between Ridge and Thorne. And I'd like to see Taylor finally, give Thorne a little more support.
Yeah, I think they'd be good for each other, and you guys do have chemistry together.
I agree.
Yeah, we had Windsor on the show in March, and he was our first Bold and Beautiful cast member to join us, and he was so much fun. Great energy, great person to interview and to talk with. He made us feel so comfortable, like we were just part of the family.
Yep, that's
and
it.
Very funny.
Very funny. Very. He's almost like a kid. I don't think he's ever going to grow up, and that's what's great about being around him. He's very childlike, and there's not a mean bone in the guy's body. Seriously.
Yeah, he seems very positive.
Yeah, we would like to see more of you and Taylor and Thorne on screen. The last that your character even mentioned him was when you brought the chocolate bar thing over, and he never even got to experience that because it was.
I really do think that the fans remember and they love Ridge and Taylor together very much. There was a special chemistry there. It goes back 23 years ago. So I came on the show in late 1989, and the show started in 87. So there is a definitely long history there that the fans became emotionally attached to. And, of course, we have their children, Stephanie and Thomas. It just seems like right now the focus has been Ridge and Brooke, and that's kind of where it's stuck. I don't really know what the future plans may be, but I do know that I get a ton of mail, and there's as you know, the name that they affectionately give called Tridge. So,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge number of people who, talk to me all the time. Are they going to get back together? And the answer is I don't know. I mean, I suppose that is up to the writers down the road or whatever they choose to do. But in the meantime, I think Taylor can pretty much stand on her own whatever she's doing.
That is true.
This is true.
Thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, Matt. Well, Pam, you've got a lot of Twitter questions for her, so why don't you go ahead and bounce one to her?
I do have. I have one from...
but just the nature in itself is just amazing and beautiful.
Yeah, the coloring of, the mountains and that, it's just, oh my gosh, stunning.
Yeah, but doesn't it?
And I know
look
there's
real?
a lot of great spots.
Oh yeah, the formations are what are amazing, for sure.
Well, tonight we're going to do a little something different. Normally we do the first, half of the show with interview with Pam and I, but you have a lot of callers, so I'm going to see if I can be as fair as possible to try to do a format where we take a caller, then we talk to you, then take a caller, kind of go back and forth. So that way, people, we do have someone calling in from Australia, so I got to make sure we get her online.
All right.
She was calling all the way from Australia, so I'm gonna find out how her number pops up, being that it's an international number, and I'll get her on as soon as I can. But I'll just go ahead and take the first one. This is Matt. Matt, you're on the air with Hunter.
Hello, Matt.
Hi, Hunter.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Well, I just have a quick question for you. I've talked to you online and met you multiple times, but anyways, I'm a huge fan of Ridge and Taylor. I grew up watching, and I feel like they were the couple, but they kind of don't acknowledge it that much anymore. How do you feel about how they kind of, they go on about Ridge and Brooke being it all the time, but that isn't what I saw growing up. So, just curious as to how you feel about them not staying true to the history.
Well,